Buenos dias. I'm glad to see you, Greta. I was worried you wouldn't be here. Moving slow. Aw. But no more headaches, right? No more headaches. Good morning, Deborah. ¿Cómo estás? Yes, Greta. No more headaches, right? Just a second, guys. I'm just sending my rent now that I remember it. I don't want to be late. Abril. Hecho. Done. I tell you, I like to do I like those transfers. We do it here. No bills, no nothing. I remember though years ago that we didn't have all that. And then you just send the voucher to the landlord and oh, it went to me, but that's all right. I'll forward it to her. And then the first time I did, I opened another bank account just so that I could use no headache. Just so that I could use this Yappy. Yappy is an app that this bank has here called Banco General. And yes, Banco General. Me, when I have a headache, a slight headache, not a headache, nucal, we call this, back of my neck, that usually means I'm dehydrated. So good. So I did the other. Hey, good morning, Crystal. So I did that. I opened another bank account just so that I could use that Yappy. But usually I need to do two transfers from my bank because my bank I'm limited to a certain amount a day. And then I was like, I was close. I'm like, oh, I'd have to make another trip to the bank. And Saturday I tried to get there. The bank's closed at 2 o'clock, and I overslept. I woke up at 10:05. Saturday, I don't know what happened. And my class was at 10, and I woke up at 10:05. Greta wasn't there, but it was just Denise because my other student had something to do. So I couldn't do it on Saturday. So, but I made the transfer on, was it Friday or Thursday? It took 2 or 3 days to transfer from one bank to another. So I'm thinking about that. That's a long time. Yeah. All right, ladies. So glad you guys are here. Yeah, I think that's what it was. My body after my saga with the hostel in Antigua, where I spent 2 nights without sleep. My body needed to recoup. So it's so good because I usually don't set up my alarm for Saturday and Sunday because I never sleep that late. Well, I did that day. But Denise was like, hey, don't worry, I'm eating my nuts and my coffee. Take your time. All right, let us stretch today. I tried to fast last week, it just didn't work. So one day, the day after I came back, I said, okay, I'm going to fast today. And then what did I do? Then this sister is like, I'm going to bring you some oxtail. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going to have to eat it. So there goes that fasting. I couldn't do it. She did a good job. It was good. Let us move those legs and shoulders. Shoulders up. Breathe. Yes. Shoulders go. Make them count. Ooh, up to the ears. I can feel it. All right. Now let's come down and just move the shoulders a little bit inward. Yes. Breathe. You feel this in the sides too, and the hips. And I had such a bad time with those 2 nights over there. My back was hurting, my hips. The bed was a rock and this little bed. Oh my gosh. Never again. That's a definite no bueno. Oh, so good. Now go down a little bit and really twist the shoulder in. Oh, ooh, that feels amazing. And the masseuse was like, I'm here again. I'm like, I only had a massage 2 weeks ago. Like, oh, I can do it like that often. It's not in the budget. So I have to find other ways to stretch and relax my body, like what we're doing now. All right, let's go side to side. All right, now let's go flat on the ground and up. Flat and up, halfway, flat and up. Breathe and up, flat and up, flat and up. And let's go, come on, one vertebra at a time. Ooh, that feels good. Shoulders. Breathe. Breathe. Now inward. In. 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 All right, now let's go. One side all the way up. Imagine Peter is trying to bring you up. He's like, nope, I'm not ready. Ah, you feel it? Oh, that feels amazing. Now stretch your neck. Be gentle with your neck now. No harsh movement. Oh, yes. Feel it. Oh my goodness. That feels good. Now the other one, the other side. Stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Somebody's pulling you from the sky. Pull. And relax. Your neck. Easy does it. Breathe. Breathe. All right. Now inhale. Giving thanks to the universe again for God's blessing. Don't know why He allows us to be here today, but we are grateful. Now bring your neck in and then to the middle. Bring your neck forward. Ooh, in the middle. Bring it in. All right. Now let's go. Easy does it. Let's stay halfway here and do the stretch. Yes. Ooh. Consciously bring your upper body to the front. Bring it. Stretch. Stretch your body forward. Stretch it. Pull it. Ooh, this is so good. And all the way down. Let your head hang. Yes. And grab your arms in the back. And pull. Pull up. Ooh. Yes. Grab your ankle. And side to side. Side to side. Side to side. Yes. Oh my goodness. Now let's come up. Forward. We're going to be on the toes. And up we go. On the toes. And down. And up on the toes. And down. Up on the toes. And down. Up on the toes and down. Come forward a little bit and push the booty out and push it out. Woo. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, that feels amazing. Push it. Push it. Push. Push it real good. Woo. Right, come to the center. Bend your knees and we squat. First with your hands flat on the ground, as low as you can, opening the hip joint. Yes. Now come up, elbow to knee, and hold the squat for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now move your elbows out and go up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo. I love those. All right. Let's come in. Woo. Yes. It's good to be flexible. That's why you work out. You want to improve your flexibility. Right? Very good. Now let's bring our knees up to the chest, one at a time. This is the balancing, remember? You know how bad I am at balancing. And arm out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Those are just so hard for me. All right, let's try the other side. Maybe I'll do better. But you know, when you're able to hold, it's about how strong your mental system. There is a part of your brain, the occipital area, that controls balance. And that's why people who fall a lot, you gotta practice that. So, and as we get older, it goes out of whack, okay? Up and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. I did better with that side. Wow. Okay. We're going to do that with the leg extended. Ready? Let's see. I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's important to keep training your brain because your brain's getting old too, not just your joints. And I know I was talking to the sister. She's like, "Well, I don't agree. I think it depends." And I'm like, "Okay, sis. I'm talking about physiological aging." Okay. Just like the car, things started to fall apart. She wasn't having it. She was arguing. I'm like, "Okay, whatever, sis. We don't need to have a fight." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I need to continue practicing that. All right. Let us stretch those legs. Very good. All right. Now, legs out. We're going to do warrior 1. Out. And even just doing this, you can consciously tighten your core. Starts in here. You just tell your brain, tells those muscle, tighten up. Then you're exercising your brain as well because your brain is the control center of everything in your body, right? Then we're going to stretch to one side. Surfing. You know that one, right? And stretch. Straight up. Feel the stretch all along the midsection, your neck, your obliques. All right, and turn your face to the ceiling, palm to the ceiling. Yes. All right, and up we go. Yes. Roll. 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 And to the other side. We're going surfing. Your body should be nice and warm now. I'm starting to sweat. Arm on the thigh and stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Intentional. This is not like a wasted movement. You're pulling your hand to that side, stretching your shoulder area, your side, your obliques. Yes. And then turn your face and your palm to the ceiling. Woo. Breathe. And wow. Let's stretch our neck. Let everything hang. Everything's hanging. Right. Okay? All right, bend the knees. And then come. All right, warrior 2. All right, big space between the legs. Push forward. Not above the toes, but push forward. Right? And then come on the toes and stretch the ankle. Stretch the toes. Yes. Look up. And then bend the knees. Oh, and now arm up. Those are not easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and come up. Oh yeah. Did you feel those? They're not as easy as they look. Breathe. Yes. And the other side. Wide space between the legs. And push your body forward. Push. You're just opening this hip joint. Push. Breathe. Come on the toes, the back leg. And straighten out those toes and the ankle, the back of the leg. Right? Oh, I feel it. And then now you're going to put the knee down. Breathe. Get your balance. And arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's good. You know what I didn't do with the other leg? Is to stretch the opposite leg. It's a nice stretch. But we can do it now. Stretch the leg. Oh, we're gonna go on the ground and do our plank. We did 90 again last week, so. All right, perfect timing. All right. Let's go. We did low planking last week. I think I even did 100 seconds. That was good. All right. Let's do our planking. I see 8 people. Oh, okay. When I turn from chest to back here, it takes a couple of hours. Chase. Oh, I don't transfer from US Bank. Those are bets here. Yeah, I'm not paying that ACH transfer. I use back, and I pay $5.35 for my transfers from the US. Ugh. Woo. All right, guys. Oh, this is a nice stretch. And let's stretch forward. Yes, yes, yes. You're stretching the back and the front. Yeah. And the front again. All right. Let us do our planking. All right. Low plank. You guys ready? Let's go. We are planking. This one is a good way to tighten up every part of your body, from the neck all the way to the legs. 15 seconds. Going to 90. Again. Keep breathing. 30 seconds. Breathe. And tighten the core. 45, so we're halfway. You start to feel it now. 60 seconds. 70. Woo! We got this. 80. 90 seconds. Look how bonuses. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh! So we did 15 more seconds. Ow. Oh, 105 seconds. Oh, that's good. Did I tell you this lady, she held a plane for 4 hours? I'm like, you go sis, it won't be me. 4 hours. But she was like an army person, who's used to. I'm like, that will never be me. All right, let us rest and stretch. Bring the arms up, forward. Oh, yes. And stretch. Yes. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's continue stretching. We did our plank. Yeah. We don't quit. We work out and we keep pushing. If you did 10 yesterday, try to do 12 today. That's how you improve, right? All right. Grab your toes, stretch the back. Every time you tighten your muscles, you gotta relax them. That's what makes them flexible, right? Okay. Now, stretch, stretch. Open the legs, and we're gonna go to one side. Grab the ankle, stretch it, stretch it. You try to improve your flexibility. Yes. And on this side. Whew. All the way down. That feels amazing. All right. Let us stretch all the way out. This is one of the best stretches. It makes you feel so good. Oh, good. And bring one knee in and stretch inside your body. And every time you can, just work out your ankles. Make sure they're nice and supple. Bring the knee in. Now lift the leg up. Lift the leg up. Bring into the chest. You are relieving the pressure on the lower back, right? Bring your arms up. Grab your ankle if you can. That's flexibility, right? Woo. So good. So good. Feel that stretch. Now, let's bring the leg over. Remember, the goal is to touch the ground with your toes. Yes. I was like, did I do it? All right? You're opening the hip joint. And it's like, this is a stretch for the hip. This one, yes. You touch the ground with your toe. Bring the leg back in. Bring it out and down. And it's time for the next leg. Bring it in. All the way in. Relax your ankle. Push it in. Push. Right? You're releasing any kind of pressure on the lower back. And then bring the leg up. Bring the leg up into the chest. Bring it. And walk your hand up. And grab your ankle if you can. You want to work towards that. If you can't right now, it's okay. Just keep doing it. Push it in. Yes. And then now with your arms wide open, try to bring your toe to touch the ground. Oh. Yes. Now I got it. And feel that stretch. Yes. Oh, this feels so good. And bring it back in. Now we're going to take both legs and we're going to turn, except we're going to bring this arm over to the other side, like so. Oh my goodness, this is a really nice one. You know, an exercise like that is also going to help with your digestion and stuff inside your belly. Yes, it's important. You know, constipation is a problem that affects us as we age, and especially when you don't move too much. Things just sit there, they're gonna solidify, and that's how people get constipated. If you move around, you drink water, you eat your roughage, you know, all your veggies, you should be good. All right? In my family, that is something that we struggle with, so I'm very diligent. Make sure I drink a lot of water because constipation, if you have hemorrhoid, this is not something you want to have. You're gonna bleed. You don't want that, okay? So you do whatever you need to do. You eat the right stuff. Don't eat too much junk food. Make sure you have all your vegetables with fibers, okay? Your beans, your broccoli, your greens, yes. Stretch your legs and bring them in, bring them out. This one stretches your inner thighs, and then if you grab here and hold it, push against your leg. Because if you're really flexible, these legs are gonna go lower, but I'm not that flexible, so I have to make sure I work within reason. Don't try to look like a ballerina at your age. The ballerinas have years of training. Your body is able to do a lot more than you give it credit for. If you keep stretching it, you keep working, you see how flexible some people are. Of course, with some people, it's a gift, but they also work at it. So don't start, you know, late in life and think you're going to be a yogi. You got to train for that. All right. Now, let's try to do some leg lifts. Ready? I put my hand there because I want to keep my lower back on the ground. But let's see if we can do 5. Don't know if I can or not. 1. That's good for your abs. 2. Protect your lower back. 3. 4. 5. Maybe I'll do one for a bonus. 6. All right? Yes. Now, here's another stretch. Very nice. When you start feeling a little tightness in your hip, just go underground and do these. Stretch is good for your lower ab, but it's excellent for your hip joint. Right? Yes. You don't even need me to tell you to do that. Just do it on your own. Good for your quads, your stretching. Because remember, the goal is for you to be flexible. All right? Legs in and come up. How'd you do? How did you do? Inhale. We give God the glory. We thank God, the universe, for another day. And let's flat our toes, stretch the shoulders, stretch the back. Oh, yeah. Whew. Very good. Open and stretch one side and stretch to the other. Oh, and come forward. Stretch, stretch. That is super chat or something I can see from here. Thank you so much. Let's bring the chest up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Yes. And our neck. Let's roll the neck. The other way. stretch to one side. Oh, yes. And stretch. You know, the same thing you do on the floor, you could do sitting down. And stretch. Oh, stretch, 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 stretch. Ah. And stretch. Oh my goodness, feel it. Whew. That feels amazing. But you know, it's just as good as a massage. At least in the massage, she focuses on your muscles. But we focus on the muscles and mostly the joints. Alright? So thank you ladies for joining me, 8:36. So it was a good workout, a good way to start the week. Regina, insurance options for people over 70. Very difficult in Panama. Um, we have a sister here who is 80, and it depends too. You know, if you're healthy and you don't have a lot of pre-existing conditions, there are a couple of options that are affordable. There's a hospital called Hospital Santa Fe. They will look at your history. They will do some lab work and x-rays and EKGs and stuff like that. And good morning from Philly, Regina. Oh, that's who I'm talking to. Um, you know, if you don't have a whole lot of medical stuff, then they can sit down and say, okay, it's not insurance, first of all. It is a discount program that is managed by that hospital, right? And then another discount, and then they decide based on your history, the result of your test, how much they're going to charge you so that you don't have full coverage and you have to use their hospital for whatever you need to do, and they just give you a discount. You know, they say, oh, we'll discount 30% off of the cost or whatever. So it's not really insurance, but that is the one of the options that don't consider you too old, because a lot of the other insurances past age 65, it's really difficult. There's another hospital called Hospital San Fernando. Also, it is a discount plan. You can come in the hospital, you get coverage, but they give you a good discount. I mean, I think they pay 70% and then you pay 30%. You know, we have that in the States as well, 70-30. But every insurance plan that you apply to here in Panama in our age group, they want to do, you have to have an exam. You have to go see your doctor. You need to know your insurance, and you better tell the truth on that exam or the application. If you have hypertension and all that, is it stable? So it pays for you to work out, to keep your blood pressure under control, take your medication. If you've had surgeries, you know, and cancer is just one of those where they're like, and then if you have multiple issues, like you have lung disease, heart disease, diabetes, they may or may not even cover you. Some people talk about international plan. Yes, the international plan will not reject you. And the other plan also, there's no age limit. They're not going to say up to age whatever. And a lot of the other plans will say, we'll cover you up to age 74, but we take into consideration your history, and then your premium is going to be based on your medical presentation. So if you've had multiple issues, which you need to disclose, they may choose to say yes, or they could say no, because they're looking at their risk, you know, what's the likelihood of you needing care. And, you know, I mean, our age group, we're going to need care. And as women, you know, we go to the doctor more often than the guys, and they're trying to not get into a situation where they're going to have to pay a lot to take care of you, unfortunately. And I tell people, if you're in your 50s, you come here, get into an insurance plan, because then you are going to be locked in, and they're not going to kick you out. They might increase your premium every year, which they do in the States as well. But health insurance for older people in Panama is not easy. And I tell people, you have to know. So we pay out of pocket for a lot of stuff. All your well care, when you go to the doctor, get your lab, we all pay out of pocket for those. Okay. Now there is another plan. Goodbye. Have a good day, Deborah. You too, Greta. I know you do, Crystal. Girl, we could be neighbors. Like I don't even get to see you except we go to an event. This is not. This is a no bueno. Um, there is a program here that everybody is talking about called MiniMed. This is a group that has multiple clinics, a lot of places, and they have a program for expats. So you can uh, sign up. I think it's like it's $240 a year. You get discounts on labs, X-rays. You know, you have a place to go if you have the sniffle or something like that. But if you have a major hospitalization and you don't have any, other insurance, they're gonna charge you, right? And they also you can sign up with them if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. But if you get admitted, they're still going to have to call your insurance plan in the States to ask for authorization to treat you. But the way it works in Panama, even if you sign up with this MiniMed and they say, okay, we're going to call your insurance plan. But if you have an emergency, they need to provide care right away. And unless you bring your credit card so they can charge you, maybe say, okay, we're gonna do an advance of $2,000. They charge your credit card before you can provide care for you. And at the end of your hospital stay, hopefully by that time they would have to call your insurance and the insurance said, okay, then they'll bill your insurance, right? But what everybody's doing now in Panama, they had come with a program saying, okay, we're going to use this company, we're going to bill your insurance company, you don't have to worry about paying us out of pocket. But now they stopped that. You got to pay for your full hospital care, which is much cheaper than the States, right? But then they'll give you the claim and you can submit it to your insurance company for reimbursement. That's the extent of what they're going to do for us right now. So it's complicated. So I tell people the best thing to do is to talk to an insurance broker. And at age 70, there is one plan that is an international plan out of Venezuela. That's the one I was looking at, and I still haven't done the medical stuff to apply to, for it. It's going to cost you between $400 and $500 a month. So I'm just saying, you can switch from Medicare to Medicare Advantage, which I did. I think you've already passed the deadline. The next enrollment is going to be in October to, is it early December? Yeah, this is enrollment period that you can switch to a Medicare Advantage plan. Again, you want to talk to a broker that will tell you based on what state you live in the US, which insurance plan you can sign up for the Medicare Advantage, and which insurance plans is familiar with international claims, for somebody who doesn't live in the US. And now everything is so screwy. We don't know. They could say yes today and no tomorrow. So when you go in the hospital here, you have to give your credit card for them to provide care. They're not obligated. And I've said that on many of my videos. Hospitals here, it's a business. There is no federal law that says they have to provide care for you. If you go in a hospital and they say, do you have your credit card? Can we charge $2,000? And you say, oh no, I don't have that much on my credit card. They're gonna say, well, we're gonna call an ambulance and we're gonna take you to the public hospital. You do have that option. Public hospitals are for the general population. Things are super, super affordable, but there's usually a long wait. And that's what people say. And it's not like what you used to. The hospitals are like what you see on TV. They have wards of multiple people in different beds in one large room. There is no privacy. If you want a private room, give your credit card, la tarjeta. That's why I tell folks, have one or two credit cards with a nice limit so that if you need it, then you can give it to them. Because anything they're gonna do for you in a private hospital, they wanna swipe that card. You want an IV? Swipe it. You want an ultrasound? Swipe it. You want a EKG? Swipe it. Everything is itemized, and they charge you for the room, of course. You get the daily rate, and then every single service, lab, meds, everything is charged through your credit card. Yeah. I think I was reading, or somebody was saying that in Colombia, once you get residency, then you can sign up for the national insurance plan. They have that over there. And even last week, I read that Mexico is changing its medical services that is also going to be available to people with residency. But residency in Mexico, I'm not saying it's hard, but you need to show a lot more money, that you have over $4,000 coming in every single month. Even though, like Adelia said, a lady who lives there, she said they ask you to have more money, but you don't need that much to live on, because over there your biggest expense is your rent, like it is here. But medical care is kind of like Panama. Very, you have access to it, but you got to pay. You got to pay. So, I always, I feel bad that I kind of give people kind of the bad news about medical insurance, but that is, it's hard for us here. So it pays for you to take care of yourself, so that when you go sign up for an insurance plan, that your blood pressure is under control. You make sure your blood sugars are under control. Don't go if you know things are out of whack. And then the other thing that they do, even on these discount plans, the two hospitals, they'll say, "Oh, you've had diabetes. Okay, well then we're gonna take you on. We have no age limit. You could be 80. We're gonna bring you in, but we're not gonna cover anything that is remotely related to your pre-existing condition for a year or two." So which means you can be in that program, but if your blood pressure go crazy and you have to be admitted to the hospital, they're not going to cover that, because it's considered pre-existing condition, and it is in the contract that you sign with them. They're not going to touch anything for 2 years. Again, there it's a business. They're trying to reduce their risks when they take you on. And as an older woman, you are high risk for insurance companies, because we go to the doctors and we have things happening to us. So that's why we don't, we go to the doctors and we pay out of pocket. But remember, you always have the hospital, the public hospital option. I always have to bring people to that. You're not going to die in the streets. If you call 911 here, they're going to take you to a public hospital. So when you get there, they stabilize you and you say, "No, I have insurance. I want to go to that hospital." Then they'll take their ambulance, going to take you to that hospital. But 911 automatically takes you to a public hospital, not to the one associated with John Hopkins. That one is like tarjeta. Give him your card, because they started billing the insurance companies for us, and then they were giving them the same shenanigans. They don't pay. They're like, mm-mm. We want our money. We want it now. And if they're just dilly dying with that, then it's your problem. We'll treat you. Give us your credit card. You pay for your services. Then here's your claim. You deal with the insurance company. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but it is a bit complicated here. Yep. I hope I answered your question, Regina. We have a sister here who's older, and she came and she had multiple pre-existing condition, and she just can't find good coverage. She's decided to go back because there's no Medicare. Medicare doesn't work out here in Panama. You have to have the Medicare Advantage, and like I just said, you pay and then you submit your claim. And then it's up to whoever's looking at your claim over there to decide if they're going to pay you or not. You know how they work over there. Mhm. So just don't hold your nose and say, okay, if anything happens to me, there's a lady here. That's what she said. She said, if I get sick, I want to go to that public hospital. Some expats have had good experiences, some bad. If you go to a public hospital here, like I saw in Africa, you got to, the sisters in my group, I tell them to get, an emergency bag. And in that emergency bag, you make sure you have a sheet, you have a pillowcase, and you got all your personal stuff, gowns and socks and stuff. Because they don't provide those stuff. You got to bring your sheets. You got to bring they give you the bed is there, but it's stripped. So you got to cover it. Your family has to come and bring you stuff. And in this case here, your sisters, we got, we have to bring you stuff. But you can be treated there for pennies to a dollar. People have had surgeries for like $300, including X-rays and everything. There was a young girl here who was admitted. Something happened, and I think she was there for like 3 days. They had all kinds of tests, IVs. She was a child. There was a public children's hospital here, and I think it was like $35 or something. I mean, I'm talking about something outrageous that the government subsidizes in the public hospitals. So that's why before you say anything and hope your noses and like the US, you're not in the US, first of all. So if you want the same standard as the US, stay in the US, because in a public hospital, it's not like that. But, I remember when I was in England, same thing. You can go to the public hospital, people worry about they have to wait for this and this. It's the same thing. When you go in there, there's a long line because the public, that's where they go because it's affordable. You, as a foreigner, they allow you to go in, but you're not going to cut up and go in front of the line. There's no such thing. So you're going to wait your turn. Hopefully, they have some kind of triage. If you're in emergency, they'll take you first. But people have had knee surgeries, gallbladder, and all that. This lady had a gallbladder surgery. I think it cost like $500 for everything. That means CAT scan and blah, blah, blah. Where are you going to find that? Mm-mm. So that is an option for you. And if you live in your country coming here, I think it's okay to be a little humble, right? But you have the issue of the language too, because the staff there don't speak English. And in the public hospital and the private, they don't speak English either. The doctors might, but the staff don't. So you have to have an advocate. Somebody's there for you to translate. But learn some Spanish, folks. People would say, oh, you could use a Google Translate, but if you're laid out, you're sick, or you passed out, you can't use Google Translate. You are in a foreign land and things are different. When you have a language barrier, it's going to be a factor. Yes, 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 yes. So relocating is it's a good notion, but you got to go into it with your eyes open. People talk about good care in Thailand too, in Indonesia. Well, there is a language barrier there too. Plus, to me, it's just so far. I can't even imagine going all the way over there. It's just too far for me. But some people are doing it. Younger people. There is a lady with her mom on YouTube. I think they're in Bali, Indonesia, and they talk about. But they're two of them together, so one looks out for the other. That's an ideal setup. Hmm. Because the daughter is very savvy, and then the mom, I think she's 79 or 80 now, and they're doing really well together. So she can access help, information, and so it works. It's working for them. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. People going to Vietnam, but I think I see younger people go to Vietnam. People going to um, the Philippines. Again, I see a lot of white males, older white males going to the Philippines. But here in Panama, we are the retirees. We have the largest group of expats here, but now I see a lot of younger people coming. The younger people coming, if they can pay their health insurance, it's not a problem at all and very affordable when you're young. They look at us here in Panama, you hit 65 and they think you're going to kick the bucket the next day. Exactly. But Greta, if you pass out, you can, I don't know how you're going to call Google Translate. If you unconscious, that's a no bueno. And the staff, I think someone asked me about Antigua. They're like, did they speak English? I didn't hear one person speak English in Antigua. The expat, the visitors, when I'm in the street, I'll hear, German and other languages, but the people, no. It's like, where do you think you are? This is Guatemala. Yeah, that language is a huge factor. So when I see people sign up for my classes and then they fall by the wayside for this reason, that reason, and I'm like, okay, sis, it's not that important to you. But then when you're in the hospital, you're gonna say, "Oh, Miss Maggie, can you come and translate?" Yeah, I will go, but I may not be available, or somebody may not be available to go with you. Don't hang on to that like a security blanket. Mm-mm. Got to learn to open your mouth and speak for yourself. Plus, this sister here, she said she used to tell people, "Oh well, so many people speak English here in Panama. You don't need that." She said she was admitted to the hospital. She said, "I'm changing my mindset. I'm telling you, you need to learn Spanish." Because she said, yes, the doctor came talk to me and he spoke English, but when he left, which he will, she was left to her own devices with all these people coming saying, and then you don't understand. You're saying C. You don't know what you're saying C to. So that gives you such a sense of being unstable. You don't know. Because if you don't feel good, you want to be in a place where you feel safe. But if everybody and they're chit chatting to each other, you don't know if they're talking about you or that's disconcerting, right? At night, if something happens and you need to call for help, you could say, "Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?" And when they get there, it's like, "Okay, where are you there? What do you need? Take care of it." At least if you can say, "Do Lord, do Lord, do Lord, do Lord, do Lord, do Lord." Yeah, maybe you can say a few words. So learn a few words. Yeah, they look at you saying sign language. I don't know what you say. You got the IV, you got stuff. You may not be able to do sign language, Greta. What I'm saying is, if you're sick and you have a language barrier and you're in a place where you don't understand anything, it puts fear in you because you don't feel safe. You're not gonna feel safe. How do you know they're giving you the right medication? You know how many times as a supervisor I'd walk into a patient's room and I see an IV antibiotic hanging and I look at the patient, I look at the IV, it's not the patient's medication. It belongs to somebody else. That stuff can kill you. Yes. Learn the basics. Learn the basics. Yes. All right. I want to know if I answered the question for the person who asked. Regina, did you have any other questions before I log off? I know it's a little bit convoluted, and it is. And I'm not, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm just telling you like it is. If you're over 70, you have two options: Hospital Santa Fe, Hospital San Fernando. They are not insurance plans, they are discounted plans, and you must use those hospitals for whatever you need done. So you will pay. It's not, and I'm going to cover you 100%. Nothing is covered at 100%. Not over there either, not in the US, right? But you have an option of going to a public hospital. Just lower your expectation and roll with the punches. Because you know what? You come to Panama, the Panamanians use that system, and why can't you? And if you can't, you want the bells and whistle, then show your card and go to a private hospital. Yep. All right. I hope I answered your question. I'm just waiting to see if you have any other questions. All right. No questions? Hola. No, I think everybody know how to say hola. Maybe learn to say tengo dolor, tengo hambre. I have pain. You know how you're gonna tell somebody I can't breathe? You could say problema. That's sign language, right, Greta? Like when I was going up that hill, I was like, oh, this is just way too high for Maggie. My heart was going crazy. I was wheezing. It's like, oh, no, Maggie, you're older now. You can't do that. Those COVID lungs were talking to me. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, Regina. I don't see anything. Just Greta's talking to me. You're not saying anything, so I'm assuming I answered your question. You do have access to the public system, which is a blessing. You can go to the clinic. You can go get your immunization. They're not gonna say, "Oh, okay, you're not a resident." They may ask for your ID. They will ask for your ID, but they're not gonna refuse care. And here the immunizations are free. When I get my flu shot or whatever, I don't pay for it if the government is giving it. If you go to your private doctor, yeah, you're gonna pay for it. But when I get my flu shot here, they usually do it like, oh, you're welcome. Uh, you know, Here in Panama, because we don't have like a flu season, because we have the heat and then we have the rain, so it's like it's always flu season. We get a spike. How many? Because every year you hear, oh, the flu's bad, and it affects the same group of people, very young and old. So once we hit 65, we're considered old, because here in Panama, 55 is retirement age for women and 60 for guys. So they don't let you be old to say that you're old. And if the government sees that the flu, based on how many admissions they have in the hospital, they'll set up those clinics, at the mall, at Albrook and other places where you could just go in there and they'll give you your flu shot. They give COVID shot. They give whatever is going on. So, and then you don't pay. Or you can go to a public clinic, sit down, and that takes a long time, and then they will see you. This is the thing with the public system here. It's available, but it takes time. It's usually very crowded. So some people would say, oh, well, I'll just go to my doctor and get it. Yes, you can, if you can pay for it. But the public, if it's like going to be free, they don't mind sitting there for 5-6 hours to get it done. Yeah. It's a different mindset. You got to change your mindset. So the last time I had my flu shot, it was at the El Dorado Mall. I stood in line for like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I can wait 10 minutes. Got my flu shot, and I was out there. Did I get a COVID there? I don't remember if I had a COVID. I think maybe I did a COVID one year. Yeah. But they usually, that's what, and again, that's where the language comes in. You ladies, my students who are watching here, I tell you, keep your TV on. So in the evening at 6 o'clock, TVN, Canal Dos, they're very good at giving information. Like there was a time where they said they found yellow fever at the border with Colombia, because the Embera, there is a large indigenous community in that Darien zone, because Darien is a province of Panama too. Even though we can't cross that, it's dangerous, but up to, like, I think in the middle of it, is where the indigenous population is. So usually, if there's something happening in Colombia, they'll see it there. They tested some monkeys and stuff, and they said, "Oh, they saw yellow fever." So they were like saying, "If you're coming from Colombia, you go and you visit Colombia, coming back, we want to see that you've had your yellow fever shot." I've had the yellow fever shot because when I was going to Ghana, Africa, that was a requirement. So I know I'm good. But they would say, if you live in those communities, they'll say, come and get your shot, right? And in the health department, they call it MIMSA here, it's very alert to things. So when the flu is starting to get crazy, and usually in the rainy season we see a lot more of it. So it could be rainy season starts in May. It could be in July. They're saying, "Oh, the flu is bad." You're thinking the U.S. You're thinking October. It's not like that. So it's whatever time of the year it starts to show up. They'll talk about it and they'll set up those stations, San Miguelito, Albrook, at El Dorado, and different malls, and then they'll post it on the screen so you know where to go to get your shot. Right? What else did I see them talk about? That yellow fever, the flu. They always talk about the flu, and I think at some point, just like with the U.S., they had that. It's not smallpox. What is it that was doing numbers in the US? Any kind of like childhood disease, if they see a spike, they'll tell you and they'll set up. And you see, in Panama, just like when COVID was here, when I came during COVID, I was here in 21, everybody wore a mask. It wasn't like, oh, my right, this is my right not to wear my. It doesn't work here. I was on the metro. They had a policeman stationed there in each car. And then look, if you didn't have your mask on, it was like, put your mask on. And you don't get to see, well, I don't want to. You're going to get arrested. So do not bring that mentality here. Well, this is my right not to wear a mask. Well, you're going to be sent back. So that's why they didn't have such a problem here with COVID. People are so stupid with their, even now, we wear masks. You go on the metro, you go with masks. I have masks in my bag. If I get on the metro, it's very crowded. Like if I try not to be on a bus or metro during rush hour. This is no bueno. It's tight. People are breathing on you. That's how you catch the stuff. And COVID is still around. You know that, right? It's not eradicated. So if I'm close quarters, the mask goes on. I could be sitting, I've been sitting on a train and then the guy across me is like, I'm like, oh, time for my mask. Because the air is not circulated, it's going to come towards me, so I put my mask on. So we don't play with stuff like that here. Yep. All right. Okay, this turned into a healthcare debate, but Regina is not saying anything, so I assume I answered your question. Did I really give you bad news? I'm so sorry. But I like to tell you like it is. I can't tell you a lie. It is what it is. All right. We pay for our dental care. There is no dental coverage anywhere. So if you need dental work done, you're gonna pay out of pocket. hmm Your hearing test, glasses, yeah, you pay for those. And your mammogram, your women's care, you pay out of pocket, but they always have specials. So people talk about them in the chats and stuff. Who's giving like a mammogram for $35 or something, and people do that. Okay. Oh, and I sign up, I need to get that done. I sign up for a plan that is given by my bank. Um, Benitsmo, one of the banks here, they know me now. She's like, oh, senora, would you like to consider this plan? I think I pay 845 a month, and I can get labs. I can get, really well discounted, and a mammogram. You can get one a year, which is all you need. I think you can get a doctor to come check on you once or twice a year or something like that. I don't remember what, but it's like an assistance for older people. And I'm like, what's the bank doing stuff like that? They're like, yeah, they do that here. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. 845. I think they can transfer you to the hospital. But I wouldn't think right now to call them. So I need to get their information and put it on my paper so that that is an option, right? We're just trying to have a little something, something so that we're not totally bare in this country. But I asked the gentleman, the young man in my building, I said, first of all, if I pass out in my apartment, no one's going to know, right? If I'm not in the chat with the ladies, maybe after a day or two, they might say, oh, we haven't seen Maggie in the chat. But I could be rigor mortis and dead in my apartment. And that's something that we all, think about. Now, Crystal has two little puppies. They might start screaming if she's not moving, and the neighbor is gonna say, "Well, something's wrong," and call the desk. But here, no one's gonna be looking for me. I'd be gone, and that's something we as seniors, you have to kind of come to Jesus with and say, if it happens, it happens. I personally am totally okay with that. In fact, I talk to the sisters and I'm like, don't rush to come find me. Take your time, walk slowly. And they're like, you're so crazy. No, we're gonna come get you. I'm like, no, no, no. You don't have to do that. But if, for example, one sister said, oh, I haven't heard from Maggie, call the front desk and say, could you go check? First of all, I don't even know if they have a key to the apartment. I don't think they do. Because one sister here, she left her key inside, which I don't know how because my door doesn't lock behind me here. You have to lock it from the outside, so I don't understand how that works. But when she went to the desk and say if they had like a master key, they were like, no, because these are condos. They are individually owned. So that's why we ask for people's, do we ask for the landlord on our emergency form? Maybe we need to do that now that I'm thinking about it. Because the landlord, if you call the landlord, they might. But think of the delay. You're calling the landlord, she may not be available, she may be out of town. You can't worry too much about if something happens to you here because you know it happens in the US as well. I know a lot of my patients were found after 3, 4 week days, right? And it is a casualty of living alone. Whether you live alone at home or abroad, it can happen to anyone that something happens to you. And I tell people, I don't mind dying alone here. I just don't want to be in pain alone. Let's say you fall in the shower, you break a hip, and then you laying there for a week. That's happened to my patients. That is very, very possible, right? So this is something, and we don't have the emergency alert button here, but you can say, I've fallen, I can't get up. I'm looking at that. We don't have that. There is, because when you call that button, there is a monitoring station that sees and can call the ambulance to come get you. We don't have that here. The closest thing we have here in Panama is one of those watches, Apple or Android. One sister has a watch that is paired with her phone, with her Android phone. So all her contacts from her phone you can find here. So she says she wears it all the time. It is waterproof, so she doesn't have to take it off. So let's say, for example, if she slips in the shower and fall, as long as she's conscious, Greta, because if you're not conscious, it doesn't matter. You can have your watch and you're still out. But if she's conscious, she can push that button. And what that button does, it just calls her first contact. She's got 3 contacts. If the one doesn't answer, it rolls to the second, rolls to the third. So she says she can push it and it will call her contact. But if I'm her contact and I'm not available, you see what I mean? So you can't be too, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm going to be. It can happen, sis. I can tell you how many times, well, I can, with our group, I think 2 or 3 times, somebody had a need and they called me. And for some reason, either I didn't have the phone with me or the phone was on the charger on silent. I wasn't available as the first person they called. Then they said, we tried to call you, we couldn't find you. Then we called so and so. Yes. Don't have one contact, have one, two, three. So she called the next person and they were able to get in. So by the time I got her message, they already taken care of her, which is good. But yeah, um, it's just one of those things, I'm not even saying as you get older because I know it happens to anyone. Yeah, it happens to a lot of people. So the idea of you being in a situation where you need help and is help available, mhm, yeah, you got to wrap your head around it. So yes, there is that watch. So somebody who is really concerned can consider that. I think she bought one of those Honor phone here, which is a Chinese brand, and then there was a watch associated with it, and they can be paired together. So that is an option. All right. Oh my gosh. A lot of chit chatting. 9:17. Okay, I'm gonna go off because Regina is not saying anything else. She asked a question and I give her more than she asked for. Walk slowly. Well, in your house, you make sure you have a rug in the shower that is gripped so you don't slip and fall. No sudden movement because most of the falls that happen at home in the shower. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, um, and with my patients, I do the home care. When they'll fall, I say, "What happened?" She said, "Well, the phone was ringing." And I'm like, "What are you doing? You running to go to the phone?" Or they hear the bell. They're running to go. Why? Why are you running? If somebody's knocking on your door, let them knock. Take your time. People had fallen with their leg twisted in their oxygen cord, or they had like a little cute little rug on the floor, and then they slipped. It's like it's one of the things that we do. When I used to go in, it's like these little cute rugs need to go. If you see a spill on the ground, you wipe it really fast. And then here in Panama, every place is tile. That's no bueno. You fall on those things, you're gonna break something. Hmm. I remember being in Africa and all the tiles were nice and shiny, and I'm like, ooh, danger, danger for old people. You can't look at things as aesthetic and cute. No. How practical is it? You have a bathroom, you have to step this high to get into your tub. That's a no bueno. You need a walk-in shower. And they don't have grab bars here. They need to have grab bars because as we get older, things change. But this country here, Panama, is not really focused on elder care. They don't think about that. Just like we don't have, handicap facilities or whatever. This is not the mindset here. So don't bring the ADA expectation to Panama. Just like I tell you, you're in the street with those cute little sandals. Okay, okay. With all the glass and the stuff on the ground, no. Wear your tennis shoes with the thick sole. And don't be looking around taking pictures. Look where you're stepping. You're going to step in one of those holes and break an ankle or two. Elbows, shoulders, people falling. And as you get older, you don't even have to do anything bad to fall. Sometimes I remember my first fall. I was coming from a party and my hands were full. I was wearing some bell bottom pants and my heel got caught in the hem of the pants. And I could see myself falling and I couldn't do anything. I had a bunch of things in my hand. And I went hard. So if I had osteoporosis, I would have broken something. Tile and cement. They love tile and cement. I don't know. And then the tile can be rough, but those are shiny, which is the one you go say, "Eee." Yeah. That was the thing we looked at when we went to see our patients. It's like, ooh, this is not good. You don't need all these little rugs and all, clutter. Mm-mm. No bueno. Yeah, don't run. It's not worth it. And then sometimes you don't even think about it. It just automatic. It's a response. Oh, somebody's knocking on the door. Now here in my building, people knock on my door. I don't even go there because there is a security guard. If you're coming to see me, they need to tell me. They'll say, "Are you expecting so and so?" That's what I want. I don't want anybody coming to my door. One time I had my door was what somebody was knocking, and I'm like, "Well, keep knocking away. I'm not gonna go even to the front door to say, 'Who is it? Candace?'" No. And then I think I met her at the neighbor. I didn't even know who she was, at the elevator. And she's like, "Oh, I was knocking on your door." I'm like, "I don't answer my door. I don't know you." Mm-mm. So I will not be rushing to answer. To answer. And the phone, why would you be rushing to answer the phone? If you occupy, they'll leave a message. And then I can decide to answer the message if I want to. So don't, like you say, Greta, don't rush for nothing. No, no. You got to change your mindset because we fall just by the lack of depth perception. How many of my patients would be in the back door, they're going down, and they forget that there is a drop, and then they fall. The hazard of aging brain. Oh my goodness. Okay, we could sit here forever, right? Talking about the woes of growing old. But remember, a hip fracture in an older woman is usually the beginning of the end. So you need to do whatever you can to keep yourself vertical. All right? Now, we have the story. I don't know if I told the story about this older lady whose doctor kept managing her blood pressure and had this number in mind that, oh, the lady's blood pressure needed to be that. So he ended up increasing a med, putting her on 3 blood pressure medication. For the 70-year-old, that's a no bueno, okay? Because we are more frail. So the lady's blood pressure dropped. She slipped, fell, broke her hip, surgery, rehab. She caught an infection in the rehab, which is very common. Could be bladder, could be lungs, could be a wound that gets infected. She died. What did she die of? Over medication. Be careful. Some of these doctors will kill you. Mhm. And of course, if you don't know, I don't know what you're going to do because you think of your doctor as your God. You think that whatever they say, they have your best interests at heart. But you're a number for most doctors. You're a number. All right. And these doctors look at, I remember when I was in practice, it's like the guidelines say, and I used to tell them, well, the guidelines will apply to a patient, it doesn't apply to me. Because I went to see a doctor and my cholesterol was something, and she's like, "Well, the guidelines say I need to prescribe it." I said, save your script. She said, "I'm not taking it," but I can advocate for myself. I said, "I know I need to work out. I need to, change my diet and stuff." But I said, "Save your script." I said, "I'm not taking it." Oh, and she got offended. I'm not. It's my body. You don't tell me what I need to take. Yes. So you got to advocate for yourself or have someone with you who can advocate for you. And the idea that we cannot question a doctor's orders change doctors. Some doctors think they're God. How dare you? Or they tell people, don't Google. What do you mean, don't Google? The information's out there for me to find out. If you're trying to kill me or heal me, no. Yeah, I don't make a good patient. Yes, a hip fracture is not a good thing. Not everybody, dies, but it's just a major, it's such a big bone, and some people will throw a blood clot and die. You have to move even if you're in pain. So, and the rehab, going into any facility, hospital, rehab, whatever, you're at risk for infection. You can survive the surgery and die of an infection. Sometimes the infection starts in the OR with the doctor not having good practice, cross contaminating. The wound can get infected. I had a lady who had multiple hip surgeries because the hardware, the rod that they use to hold the bone, her body started rejecting it. So they had to go in there, open her up, take it out, put another one in. I felt so sorry for her. But yes, of course, she ended up dying. Oh my God. Like my mother said, you know how you came into this world, you don't know how you're going to leave it. The leaving can be pretty traumatic and ugly. Yes, yes. And I think that's what I pray to God that, it would be something fast. So I go to sleep, I don't wake up. I would be so grateful. And then I don't answer the chat. The sisters come 2 or 3 days later, and I'm having a party with Jesus already. That is my goal, my wish. Oh my God. All right. Definitely gonna be turning this off now. Have a great day, everyone. All right. God loves you. Bye.